So I'd like to take a little time to talk about codependency and how we treat it at the Sanctuary at Sedona. So oftentimes people don't consider codependency a serious issue. They often think about it's just relational. We have dysfunctional relationships. We may feel like we're too needy or we're too controlling. And I can tell you that codependency is absolutely one of the most serious addictions that there is, and oftentimes have other types of symptoms that are also associated with it. For instance, a lot of people that are coming to us for relationship issues and codependent issues also are suffering from severe anxiety and depression. Whether or not they have a substance abuse addiction, they're often misusing substances, food. There's a lot of different co-occurring disorders that often come with codependency. And I'll tell you, in the last decade, we've seen a rise in people coming strictly for codependency. Their health is taking a tremendous toll. A lot of times when people are coming and have been in long-term codependent relationships, their health is suffering. They often have a lot of autoimmune disorders, along with some other addictions, depressions, anxiety, and trauma. So at the Sanctuary, we take codependency very, very seriously, and we treat it with great compassion. So what is it? What is codependency? It's a word that you hear a lot, and I believe that it probably has many different variations on this scale. But the bottom line, codependency is when we've completely lost touch with who we really are. There's no sense of a grounding or a knowingness of ourselves. So much of our identity, our sense of safety, our sense of our place in the world, our points of reference is completely defined by externals, by those people in our life. We often don't know where we stop and the other person begins. When we're not in relationship to others, we often will feel a sense of emptiness, a sense of loss of identity, a sense of separation that can be profound. And so much of our life force energy goes into paying attention to and feeding these relationships, whether they're our children, our parents, our families, our partners, our spouses. And often what will happen is so much energy is going out to make sure everything's okay, and to sort of have this sense of control and this sense of safety, that if they're okay, then I'm okay, that at the end of the day, often people with codependency feel completely drained. No life force energy, which again is why so much depression and anxiety and other physical ailments come, because the body doesn't have any energy to be nourishing and tending and supporting itself. So at the Sanctuary, when people come for codependency, we recognize that this is a multi-dimensional, multifaceted issue, that it's not just about the physical issues that they come with. So of course we're going to look at the anxiety and the depression and the physical illnesses or ailments, but we go below that. We're going to be looking at how does codependency live in the actual body? How is it living in the emotional body? We're wanting to look at where have we lost our authentic self, our purpose in our life, our true voice. So often people with codependency say, I don't even know who my authentic self is. They've never even taken the time to know who they are. We work a lot with the whole energy body so that they can start regulating their nervous system. And we do all of this as we're paying attention to and nourishing the mind, the body, the soul, the spirit in this holistic model, so that people are strong enough and are grounded enough so they can go do the deeper work. And the deeper work is being able to go find out why. Why has this survival strategy, why has this symptom, why has this addiction, this disease of codependency happened in the first place? And for the most part, codependency begins very young. It's definitely part of developmental trauma and different attachment disorders that happen when we're children. And it is a way to cope. It's a way to survive. We learn to be very attuned to others, very clear on what other people are needing in the environment. So again, we feel safe. Having needs becomes very dangerous. So we learn to suppress them and not be able to express them or even be able to identify them. And all of this suppression and repression and denying and minimizing of our own energy body, of our own needs, of our own emotional needs, well, it can create absolute devastation for ourselves and eventually for those that we love. So when we come to the sanctuary, I absolutely guarantee you that you'll be held and possibly for the first time start asking those big questions. Who am I? What do I need? Learning about our unmet needs, our needs that we've been meeting in all of these codependent ways. We start looking at what boundaries are. What are healthy boundaries? Where am I able to still be loving and compassionate? Because often codependent people are very caring and so loving. It's just they don't have a balance of where to have the proper boundary of caring for self as well as caring for others. So not only do we teach a lot of beautiful skills and ways to be able to be in the world and continue to have the relationships that we long for, but we're able to do it from a place of wholeness, a place from empowerment, a place where we know who we are in relation to others. So we welcome you to come to the sanctuary to be working on how to deepen a connection to yourself and others and be able to live in this world in a more free and healthy way.